Welcome back to another video, everyone. Today I want to show you how to transform your sand lizard in a healing machine. Without further ado, let's get things started. Now, before anything else, this is something that I said before and I will keep saying because I think it's really important. Before you regenerate or add any skills to this pet and any pet, you need to get a 1-star talent skill. For the sand lizard is the stone aura, and it's pretty easy to recognize the talent skill. It has this golden border. Now, why I say it's important to get a talent skill first? Well, the only way to acquire it is by catching the pet in the wild with it. Now, let's move to what skills fit with the sand lizard for this build. The first one is obviously the talent skill. The next one is Great Care. For the 0-star version, it provides us 10% chance to heal every second with a healing factor of 17% determined by intelligence. Can be triggered once every 8 seconds. Now let's take a look at the 2-star version. This one, 10% chance to heal every second with a healing factor of 42. So the only change is a higher healing factor, which is great. The next skill is a really nice one, Follow Up. You have a 40% chance to cast a War Pet Magic raid skill again 2 seconds after the first casting. Damage healing shield effect is 5.4% of the first casting, determined by intelligence. Can be triggered once every 3 seconds. Now let's look at the 2-star version of Sage skill. It's pretty much the same, with the only change being from a 5.4% there is a 15% of the first casting, which is great. At this point we have 3 skills, all of the intelligence type. The next one is a bit harder to acquire in the 1-star and 2-star version, Tranquility. War Pet skill healing granted plus 2.2% determined by spirit, which is great. Let's take a look at the 2-star version. War Pet skill healing granted plus 6%. Very nice, but it's, as I said, hard to get. The next one is another spirit skill, which again, it's hard to get in the version of 1-star and 2-star, but I think it's worth it if you are looking for a great healing path. Pure Strength, 0.8% chance to remove a debuff effect from the Legion every second, determined by spirit. Can be triggered once every 10 seconds. Let's move on to the 2-star version. Here the only change is the 0.8% chance is 2.2%, which is really great. Now we already have 5 skills. Let's move on to the 6th one, which is Divine Blessing. This is a strength skill, which here says it's a spirit, determined by spirit, but this is a mistake, it's strength. War Pet skill healing granted plus 2.2%. Very nice, very nice. Let's take a look at the 2-star version. War Pet skill healing granted plus 6%. Now we have 6 skills already, which are really great for this build. The last one may be a bit harder to obtain because, as you can see here, this one, Hasty Stone Aura, is a 3-star skill, which at the moment can only be obtained from a single place, which is Season End Reward for the first alliance, which means you need to hold the dragon at the end of the season, and when the next season starts, you need to select it as the reward. Now, you may be able to obtain the 0-star, 1-star and 2-star version from the merit shop, but that is not guaranteed. Now, this was the build, 7 nice skills which will make you an incredible healing path. Let's move on to the attributes. Now, for this build we have 3 intelligence skills, which basically ask you to have an S attribute for intelligence. Now, next you have 2 spirit skills, so it will be really nice to have at least an A on the spirit attribute. Now, if you get an S, that's awesome. The Divine Blessing skill is a strength skill, so if you also have an A on the strength, that's great. The High Stone Aura, which was the last skill, the one with 3 stars, is one for agility. So if you have something great such as an A or an S agility, is even better. Now, what is pretty much mandatory for this build is to get the first 3 intelligence skills, and the rest you can get them if you have spare skill slots, which would be really great, but not mandatory. Now it's time to take a look at what heroes fit with this pack. The great part about the Stone Aura's talent skill of the Sand Lizard is that it's a passive skill and it doesn't have a definite range. This makes this skill usable for any hero in the game. The way I use it is by pairing it with my weakest Magic March, which is Alwyn Aetius, and in big fights I try to deal damage, but my primary target is to stay alive. The way I recommend you to use this hero is by pairing it with one of your weakest marches in big fights and trying to stay alive. Your target is not to deal a lot of damage, it's to stay alive and heal your allies. Thank you for watching. If you want more content of this type, like and subscribe.